How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading whether the price is going up or down. Rep. Tom Emmer is the FDIC weaponizing market chaos to kill crypto. House Majority Whip Tom Emmer is asking whether the FDIC has weaponized its authority in an attempt to purge legal digital asset entities and opportunities from the United States. Emmer on Wednesday sent a letter to the FDIC chairman, citing recent actions by the agency and accusations that it's trying to kill crypto. Emmer asked the FDIC if it had instructed banks not to provide crypto firms banking services, or if it had explicitly or implicitly told banks they would face harsher supervision if they took new crypto clients. Emmer also demanded to know what guidance the FDIC provided to financial institutions to help manage the risk of rising rates. If this is the case, these actions to weaponize recent instability in the banking sector, catalyzed by catastrophic government spending and unprecedented interest rate hikes, are deeply inappropriate and could lead to broader financial instability. In the letter, Emmer accused regulators of causing regulatory statement-driven fear, which led to a bank run on banks that provided legal crypto firms access to financial services. Emmer pointed to a January 3, 2023 statement by the FDIC, Federal Reserve, and Office of Comptroller of the Currency, discouraging banks from dealing in crypto. Former SEC Advisory Committee member says agency underestimated Ripple. J.W. Barrett, an associate law professor at George Mason University and a former member of the United SEC Investor Advisory Committee, has let slip that the agency underestimated Ripple. He shared his view on Crypto Law TV stream yesterday that has made it around on Twitter. It came in response from a question from Deaton on why the SEC chose to even go after Ripple, which is well funded. And he responded and said that he thought they would have a settlement and didn't think that Brad would put up such a fight. So the SEC pretty much admitted, hey, we didn't think they'd actually fight us on this. We thought they'd just give us some money and accept whatever consequences we dished out. Noting that the SEC has managed to stretch Howey's tests and crypto enforcement actions in the past few years, he points out that the nuance of the doctrine is more important in these courts. He also says that amicus briefs are essential at these levels, as they give the judge different ways to overturn the SEC's arguments. Deaton has also tapped Ripple to win should the case make it to the Supreme Court, and he said that the Supreme Court currently has an aversion to regulatory overreach, so they are very different views than the current court system that we're in, or the SEC for that matter. Plaintiff wins case against hackers after serving court papers via NFT. A federal judge in Florida has ruled in favor of plaintiff who sued anonymous hackers, issued a formal notice of the legal action via NFT. The ruling declares that the unidentified hackers are on the hook of almost $1 million of Tether that they stole from the plaintiff in December of 2021. The perpetrators have been ordered to pay the equivalent back to, I don't know how to say that, with the amount set to accrue interest on the debt until it is paid in full. So, he's even getting interest out of this. Because of the blockchain, it remains unclear who these thieves were, let alone where they reside, but that's why Judge Bloom permitted the NFT serving in last week's case, using the same on-chain address that they used to steal from him. The hackers tricked the plaintiff into linking his Coinbase wallet with a fake liquidity mining project and then drained money from a wallet of their own. This is why you do not want to click any links from anyone that is not from an official website, and they're never going to ask you for your seed phrase. Judge Bloom's determination that NFTs constituted a legitimate form of legal nullification for these defendants marked its first time an American federal court has allowed defendants to be served by NFT. Prior to last week's ruling, a New York County court permitted the practice early last year, and there's not really much more useful information in the article. Credit Suzy crisis has Bitcoin investors feeling bullish. As the banking sector continues to roll, this time Credit Suzy, crypto enthusiasts are already taking victory laps on Twitter. We gave you a warning of this a couple days ago. Others, alluding to the description enshrined on the network's first block, echoed the sentiment saying Bitcoin was made for this. Well, Bitcoin was made for this because Bitcoin was made because of the 2008 financial crisis. As digital rates rise to tame inflation, making money more expensive to borrow, investors leave riskier assets like stocks and cryptocurrencies to suffer for sure bets like US Treasury bills. But as rates rise, they can also put the squeeze on banks. So SVB, for example, revealed that it had shifted its bonds with variability term maturation periods as its tech startup-centric client withdrew funds. And that's basically what made them go under, because all their tech startups took money out of them, so they had to sell their bonds at a loss and take them out before they had matured. Many have criticized SVB executives for the collapse. However, there are many who are also saying that the Federal Reserve is rising rates too quick, and that's what's causing all these bank insolvencies. The likelihood of the Fed Reserve putting interest rate hikes on pause swelled Wednesday as an investor confidence in European bank stocks wobbled. So the fund's futures had a 59% chance that the Fed would put the cycle on pause, and this is the most aggressive cycle we've had in about 40 years, which has doubled from 31% like yesterday. So the chance of not having a interest rate hike has significantly increased now. I'd be very bullish for Bitcoin because if we don't raise interest rates, then it's likely that we could start printing money again, which then that's just going to cause more problems down the road. So our stochastic's starting to curl on the daily, RSI is kind of starting to curl on the daily, VWAP's starting to curl, momentum's starting to kind of round out, and our money flow wants to break bearish. However, it's holding strong just above that neutral zone right now. Over on the 4-hour, money flow is kind of flat. You can see it's not really going down too much. We did try to break twice. So if we manage to come back into this flag and money flow does manage to get across, we could potentially break bullishly instead of bearishly. But if we do break bearishly, it's likely we could test around this 23.2 level. Our RSI is heading down, stochastic's heading down, hasn't made a bullish cross yet, but it's pretty oversold, suggesting the RSI has no strength. We had those bearish divergences that played out. On the 2-hour, we keep going in and out. We might even be able to kind of drop this a little lower here and consider that the bottom of your flag, which would put us slightly lower for the breakout. Nothing too exciting though. RSI is heading down, stochastic's just pretty dead here. Money flow is rising and kind of flat. So even though we're not really going anywhere, money seems to be coming in. So if that can continue, then that 4-hour could possibly flip bullish, and then we could see some moves up. However, if money flow starts coming out, then it's likely that we'll start to break down. Our momentum is trying to curl, VWAP's trying to curl, and our stochastic has a bullish cross here. So the 2-hour is trying to get some short-term pump here. Over on the 1-hour, we did have a green dot. Our momentum wave's kind of starting to curl. Money flow is starting to come out, so that's a little cautionary. VWAP's heading down, so medium term's coming down, and money flow's coming out on the 1-hour, so I'd be a little leery. Stochastic's heading up, so we are gaining strength with the stochastic. RSI's pretty flat though, so getting pretty mixed signals on the 1-hour, as we have some bullish signals, some bearish signals. So we'll kind of want to watch 30-minute money flows on a downward trend. Momentum was coming up. We got a red dot. Our VWAP could break down. Stochastic's heading down. So if this 30-minute keeps going down, then it's likely the hour won't pick up from here, and we could get some more downside. Over on graph for the daily, we did break down below support, so we did not turn it into support. We didn't flip resistance to support. Now it's our resistance again. Money flow is curling, stochastic's curling, RSI is curling, and our momentum waves kind of getting that curl, and VWAP is heading down. So pretty similar to Bitcoin here. 4 hour, we're kind of rounding out, got a red dot, but we have a long lower shadow. Kind of a doji too, because it doesn't really have much of a body. Stochastic's starting to kind of round out, but could just kind of go flat like Bitcoin. RSI's heading down. Money flow's trying to come up, but never tried crossing like Bitcoin did. Our VWAP is trying to make a recovery here. If we look over at the 2 hour, VWAP is kind of starting to round and go sideways, so we could kind of round and come back down. RSI's heading down. Our stochastic's trying to head back up. So that stochastic can pick up, then that RSI could start to curl. Momentum's trying to curl, may get a green dot, but some of these other signals are looking kind of bearish. If we look at the 1 hour, money flow got a little bit of a peak bearish, but flipped back up. However, it looks like we could get another peak, so I'd watch this 1 hour pretty closely. Stochastic's heading up. RSI made a decent bounce after breaking that neutral area. We are coming back down near that neutral area though, so if RSI breaks it again, it's likely we could see more downside. Our momentum wave's kind of starting to curl here too, so I'd be a little leery. Over on XRP, we are coming back down, so at this point, it's pretty safe to say that we made a shoulder, even though it's kind of ugly looking. I mean, this whole head and shoulders altogether is pretty ugly, which, since that's the case, there is potential for us to break down to about 13.7. So I'd watch out for that, for anyone that watches this part. Momentum's heading up. We have a red dot on momentum, our momentum wave too. So that's a little counter. We had a divergence, but we're getting a red dot. Money flow's coming out still. VWAP's coming down. Stochastic and RSI are coming down. So overall, the daily is looking bearish for XRP. Money flow's just kind of flat here. Did slightly head up on the 4 hour. VWAP's trying to head up. Our momentum wave looks like it could head up. Our stochastic wants to kind of round here, but our RSI is coming down. If we look at the 2 hour, we have a double green dot, so that's a positive sign, but our money flow is making a lower low, so I'd be a little cautionary here. VWAP's kind of dead, tried to cross, so not looking too great for a move up. Stochastic's kind of bending, and RSI is pointing downwards, so overall, I'd say the 2 hour is looking pretty bearish as well. The 1 hour has hope that we could come back up. It is heading up. Our money flow is making an uptrend, but our RSI is coming down even though our stochastic's giving it strength, and our momentum wave is kind of curling just like Bitcoin and graph. So I'd be a little leery as everything looks like we do have some potential for more downside. Algo got beat up pretty badly today too. We could potentially have a double bottom. We did break our value area low here, so I'd watch out for that. Money flow is trying to come up, even though we broke down. Momentum's kind of flat, nowhere to be found. VWAP's trying to head up. Stochastic's coming down, but our RSI is gradually sliding. So overall, we look pretty bearish. Oh, that's the weekly. On the daily, money flow is breaking bearish. RSI is heading down. Stochastic's making a curl. Momentum wave is kind of curling. So daily's looking pretty bearish here. Over on the 4 hour, money flow is coming up. VWAP's trying to come up. Stochastic could potentially start to curl, and our RSI is kind of starting to curl here as well, but our momentum wave is coming down. So unless the stochastic starts to give us some strength, I'd be a little leery, especially with that red X flashing. Over on the 2 hour, RSI is coming down, money flows overall heading up, VWAP's kind of starting to curl, very similar to everything else. Momentum's very similar to everything else with the way it's curling. So pretty similar, pretty bearish looking on the 2 hour. 1 hour, we're kind of curling on momentum. Money flows trying to make head up after rejecting breaking bearish, so that's positive, but our VWAP's starting to come down, so I'd watch out for that. RSI is kind of trying to make an uptrend. Stochastic's trying to make an uptrend. So if we can get some volume here and some money to come in, then we could get a bounce. However, everything's looking pretty bearish, and if the money continues to come out, then it's likely everything's going to keep falling. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.